Hello out there in internet land. So yeah, welcome to our Smash Brothers Q&A. You guys sent in a ton of questions, like over 1,000 by the time I'm making this video, probably far more than that by now. And I figured we'd go through some of the ones that stood out to me and answer as many as I can, hopefully as quickly as I can. As you may have noticed, I actually have Smash Brothers on me right now. I mean, I'm actually playing it as we're doing this Q&A. So if there's anything I need to show off or something, I can do it in this video. So, haven't done that before, so we'll see how it goes. Right now, it's just running the demo reel on the title screen. Alright, I'm done wasting time. Let's get to the questions. Supa Gamers asks, can you turn off stage hazards? As far as I know, you cannot turn off stage hazards, so they are locked in there. Unless, of course, you use a Final Destination form of each stage, but yeah, I don't think that really counts. Mr. Magic Kid 10 asks, do you think Ice Climbers would be in the Wii U version? I don't think they will, unless they do like DLC or something. I don't know, it's possible. Like, maybe they are holding off characters on the Wii U one, and then retroactively add them to the 3DS one, because we do know the games will have the same roster. So, you know, I mean, that would be really cool. That'd be a good way of building hype. It's like, hey, check out Ice Climbers coming to the Wii U version, but stay tuned for them on the 3DS as well. Alright, next up is Drake K, and he asks, how can you read all these menus? Do you know Japanese? I don't, so I mostly stumbled my way through. Luckily though, I did play basically the full game at PAX, as you may recall, a few weeks ago, which I didn't have a chance to talk about really, and that was all in English. So I retained some of it from there, because I was able to read those. Otherwise, I'm just stumbling my way through, and I will say some of the menus are a little bit confusing. If you don't have any experience at all, or if you don't know what they say. Metaman Gaming asks, how does Pac-Man's moveset feel? So, I love it. I actually really like Pac-Man. I think he just feels great. He has just like a really well-rounded character, it feels like. He moves at a pretty, decent speed. But it's really his moves, his special moves that just really stand out to me. In particular, his side special, if I'm remembering correctly, where you actually draw the path of the dots, and he follows it, and then he'll like just slam anyone that's in its path. Just a lot of fun to use. Alfredo Soup asks, depending on the alt costume for every character besides Kirby, does Kirby's little hat or whatever does Kirby's little hat change? Or Kirby's appearance. So I did check this when I did my Kirby my all Kirby alts video. Unfortunately, Kirby does not. His transformation does not change depending on which form of the character he eats. So, for instance, when eating Robin, his hairstyle always looks the same, doesn't matter whether it's a male or female. Same thing for Wii Fit Trainer. Lil Mac, he doesn't have the hoodie on or anything when he eats it. Or even Bowser Jr. and the Koopalings. The Koopalings do not affect anything, so it's all the same. All right, Eros Merrill asks, what happens in Classic mode if you put the difficulty to 9? Is there a different final boss? So, basically, so I've gone through Classic mode a bunch of times on various difficulties. As far as I can tell, for the most part, I mean, the primary change, of course, is just the CPU's difficulty level. They get smarter, they're harder. I think on lower levels too, they may actually have more knockback. I could be wrong on that. I haven't played it since yesterday, and it's all been a blur to me. But yeah, in short, yeah, the CPUs are smarter. I think the actual challenges too do get a little bit tougher, like going against, say, more metal characters, for instance. But the biggest, most noticeable thing is at the end, is that final boss being, normally it's Master Hand and Crazy Hand. But on the medium difficulty levels, as I recall, it branches off, and you can choose a harder boss, which starts off with Master Hand and Crazy Hand. Or, I might be confusing it. Maybe it's Master Hand normally. The alternate route is Master Hand and Crazy Hand. Either way, it branches off, and then on the ultimate difficulty levels, or the hardest ones, you only have the one path to take, being the hardest one. And in that case, it's still Master Hand and Crazy Hand. But, after you take them on, after you wear them down a little bit, they transform into this monstrous creature. And actually, that monstrous creature changes depending on how difficult it is. So, yeah, so the harder the difficulty, basically, the more monstrous and crazy that creature gets, and he'll transform into different things, too. So, it's pretty intense. DB Pirate asks, what is the most fun mode besides fighting versus Smash that you have done? What is the worst? And he mentions stuff like Home Run Contest, Smash Run, Target Blast, etc. So, disclaimer, I haven't had a chance to play much of all those modes. I've done mostly surface level stuff with them. But I've been so busy playing the main game, trying to unlock stuff, and making videos, which is pretty time intensive, especially those compilations. So I would say so far Smash Run is my favorite of the alternate modes. It definitely seems to be the one with the most depth and the most to do purely. Home Run, even though I haven't tried the others too much yet, Home Run contests I've always found to be fun in short bursts. And I expect the same of Target Blast and Trophy Rush too. Like I did a couple of modes of Target Blast and it seemed fine, but I don't think I'll play that unless I have to. So there you have it. Pikaboy TV asks, can you do multiplayer with someone who doesn't have the game? As far as I can tell, no, they have to have the full retail game. Unfortunately, there's no single card play as far as I know. Oh, and getting back to the menu question from earlier real quick, from not being able to read Japanese, keep in mind all my answers are based on me fumbling, around through these menus and from what I recall from the PAX demo. So, I feel, they should be right, but it's, it is possible that maybe I missed a feature here and there. But, so, in the case of the multiplayer one, I'm pretty confident I didn't miss anything, and you do need the full game as far as I know. Okay, Luxray2009 asks, he starts off saying, this isn't really a question for the Q&A. Well, too bad, I'm using it for it. But he says, I noticed that Andre is missing Flat Zone 2 from my Q&A announcement video. But he has Mr. Game & Watch. How is that possible? I read that the way to unlock Flat Zone 2 is to unlock Game & Watch just like in Brawl. So how can Andre have one without the other? That is a great question. I don't know. I really hope someone out there knows because I want to unlock Flat Zone 2. I've played on it because that's where you play on with Game & Watch, when you take them on to beat them, to unlock them. So I have no idea why I don't have it. I think I did hear you can unlock it via the, maybe the challenges screen too. I have to look into that further. But yeah, I don't know. So maybe if someone out there knows, let me know in the comments because I was baffled by that. Okay, Random Red asks, when doing team battle, oh, this is something I didn't check. Well, maybe I could do it right now. So I do have the 3DS in front of me. So he's asking, when doing team battle, how does it work for Bowser Jr.? Say, if I want blue team, do I have to become Larry? That is a good question. Hopefully this won't take me too long to set up here. I just have to find the option. Maybe it's not that one. It might be... Is it this one? Oh... Yeah, that's teams, right? Okay, there we go. Alright, let's find out. Okay, and then we'll move the CPU, green team to... Yep, so that is what it's doing. Let's change the team color. Yeah, so it looks like it just forces them onto the first alt. Out of curiosity, let me change my character to Rosalina. And the CPU. Oh, wait, maybe, this is... So, okay, now I'm... So it looks like it just forces you into, one of the alts. And, yeah, so that's what happened. It just forces you into one of the alts. And it looks like... Let's see if they appear any different in the game itself. Yeah, this question's gonna take a little bit longer than, than the others. Come on, game, load. Yep, so... Okay, that's right, they get the green outline, they get the outline in this game, which I believe Sakurai talked about before. So yeah, there you have it. So you're just forced into an alt, you don't play as multiple variants of Bowser Jr. himself. Alright. Dr. Shinenhood asks, how does the game look in a regular 3DS? Should I get a 3DS XL or the regular 3DS is too small? So... I mean, the game looks good. I mean, the game straight up looks, it's a very competent, visually looking game. It's not the best way of putting it. It's a good looking game. But I think what you're asking is how well does it play on the small screen? And to be honest, I've had some issues with that. I am getting more used to it, and I'm sure I'll speak about this more too. I think there's a few more questions in here that I took note of. I have gotten more used to it. But the small screen isn't ideal. Now I am playing on a regular 3DS and not an XL. I have played an XL and it is better on that. But even that I find to be quite small. And you compound that with a relatively low resolution of the 3DS. And sometimes it actually can get pretty confusing. Like for instance, when there's a lot of stuff going on when I was playing as Villager, or when I was playing as Mario, I actually thought I was Villager for a short period of time. They look very similar when the camera zooms out and you can't really tell what's going on. It's not... I mean, like I said, you can work through it, and I am getting more used to it. But yeah, it's not the best thing ever. But you know, ask me again in a couple weeks after I've played a bunch. Or a bunch more, I should say. Paint Bucket asks, hey Andre, here are my 2 questions. Can Luigi still use his down taunt to instant KO people during a ledge grab? Ooh, during a ledge grab, I didn't check that. I did check the, you know, I don't think I'll be able to, but I can't force the CPU onto the ledge, so I don't know. I did check Luigi's down taunt, it still does damage, it does 2% this time, and I forget what exactly, how it looked and sounded in Brawl, but it does 2%, and it makes the same noise as if you had hit them with like a Jigglypuff's down, you know, sleep move. And it sends them always a set height up into the air. Maybe like 4 or 5 character heights into the air, maybe 3 or 4. It's actually more powerful than I remember it being. But I don't know, I could be misremembering. But it always sends them, the knockback is always identical. It does not change, depending on how much damage they have. Is Pac-Man a slow character? From the same guy? No, I mean, he seems like a decent, he doesn't seem slow to me. I mean, he's not particularly fast, but I never thought he seemed slow. Alright, Gele asks, does the coin launcher game from Brawl make a return? No, it does not. As far as I know, it's been replaced by that, oh, I forget what it's called. The trophy mode that Sakurai showed off you know, maybe a month ago now? Maybe a couple months ago? Brayon asks, do you think they'll put the clown car in Mario Kart 8? Well, that's not really a Smash Brothers question, but I think it's possible they have more DLC. Miss M. Rojas 180 is asking, how much different is Dr. Mario to Mario? So I already did a whole moveset, you know, video for Dr. Mario, and he is similar to Mario. I mean, their moves are largely the same, or based on the same things, but some of them, like in Melee, have some differences. Like he now throws pills that bounce instead of fireballs. They react a little bit differently. But the main thing is this time is they even separated him from his Melee, or from how similar he was in Melee, even further by the fact that his down special is now the Tornado instead of Flood, which I think is cool. So if you don't like Flood, you can use Dr. Mario. Ultimately, they're still pretty similar, but there are more differences this time. The Spader33 asks, how awesome is Duck Hunt Dog? Dude, so awesome. John L asks, how many Miis can you make? We can check that out right now. I think it is 8, if I recall correctly, but let's take a look at the screen here. Yeah, it looks like there's 8 slots, but it might scroll down even further. Or I guess I should say, or 9 slots rather. It looks like there should be 9 that fit in there. But it looks like there's a scroll bar on the side, so maybe it's even more than that. So, short answer, enough. Joey Cohen asks, do the Koopalings have the same Final Smash as Bowser Jr.? They do. They have the exact same Final Smash. They all turn into, what's his name? Shadow Mario, and do the same thing. So it was a little bit of a bummer. I wish they had done something a little bit more. Either had a Final Smash that worked with all of them on a canon basis, if that matters. It doesn't. Or have, give them something different slightly. But they didn't, so there you have it. The Speedy Mask asks, what's your thoughts on Duck Hunt Dog after you played as him? So I really like him. I love that he's a character. I wanted him to be a character in this game for a long time. I've said that before in our past discussion. So I'm glad that he's here. I thought they did overall a great job with him. With that said, there are a couple of things I would have preferred they have done. For one, his laugh is not the laugh from the NES game. I don't know what happened. I even checked the Famicom version. His laugh was the same there too. It is such a distinctive sound. I don't know why it's not here, either in taunt form or however. Now he's just got this weird laugh. Two, although I do like the way Duck Hunt Dog looks, I'm not sure if it's a best way if it's a best look for him. I don't know. He looks just a little bit on. It almost looks like he's tired all the time, but but he is kind of old now, right? He's like what, 25 years old. But I am really just nitpicking. I really do like him. Oh, and I also kind of wish he had 2 ducks. If only so he could use them as like nunchucks or something. Alright, next up we have Fedoris S asking, seriously though, how many victory animations does each character have? I'm pretty sure it's 3 each this time. And I think that's how it was in Brawl too, but I think they all have 3 each. And I should be making a video about them pretty soon, if not already by the time this goes up. I don't know when this will be going up exactly, but if not now, very soon. Matt Murphy asks, If the stage is set in Omega mode, does that mean you can't turn items on at all? So all Omega mode does is it just activates the final destination form of each stage. Items still work. You can still turn them on or off as you want. That's the only thing it affects is the stage layout. So, Ryan Witt asks, is Stage Builder back? Unless it's hidden somewhere in the game. No, it's not. Maybe it'll be in the Wii U version, but not in the 3DS one as of yet. Meg Corraid asks, how do the different fruit work? You know, I haven't fully tested Pac-Man's neutral special, so I can't answer that offhand for you right now. I think the fruit do have different attributes, like they move different ways, but I haven't fully played with that move enough to tell you. Pokemon trainer Khalees asks, how does online handle? Is it smooth or does it suffer from bad latency often like Brawl did? So I've only done a couple matches myself. It did handle better than Brawl, but there was still lag. You can see that in my video I posted. But keep in mind I was playing against people in Japan, which isn't great for a fighting game. And I did see Josh, Wii Folder Josh, posted a video of online for him, and his looked a lot smoother. So I can't give you a final answer yet, but rest assured I will talk about it in our review, of course. He also asks, how did the controls handle on the normal size 3DS system? Should you own one? Is it comfortable to an extent? So, I'll be honest. When I first started playing this game, I did not like it at all on the 3DS. I'm so used to the GameCube controller, it just feels wrong on the 3DS to me. Now, I have gotten more used to it. I'm still not in love with it or anything. But to answer your question, it is a little bit uncomfortable for me. Especially like using the shoulder buttons, like for shield or grab or whatever. Yeah, I don't know. It's just not very comfortable. And especially when you have to mash the circle pad, and yeah, I won't give it a full breakdown, but yeah, it's not optimal, especially compared to the GameCube controller. So, but I have found myself getting used to it, so we'll see if that continues. Pokemon Professor L Hickory asks, he has two questions. One, after almost 2 days, who's your main so far? Okay, so as soon as I unlocked Game & Watch, I kind of started going back to him, because we just get along so well. That aside, I have been using Duck Hunt Dog a fair amount, and I also really like Pac-Man. And I think, actually, let me check out the character screen real quick. There was another new character I've been using a fair amount, that's been working well. Who was it? Oh man, this is gonna be an awkwardly long answer if I can't find it soon. Alright, I don't know. I forget who the third was. Anyways, oh, Bowser Jr., how could I forget? Yeah, Bowser Jr. was the other main character I was using. He's just a ton of fun to use. Those three are my favorites. Number 2, why do you use Final Destination version of 3D Land in most of your videos? Simply because I was looking for a Final Destination, or a Final Destination-like level, no hazards and whatnot. I mean, which could be any stage, of course. But I wanted something that was upbeat, that had good music, that was colorful, and I found that one. I just kind of stuck with it after I started using it. I don't know why. It's mostly because I don't have much time to make these videos. Like, I'm cranking out so many videos. I'm just going with what I know. NAT Gamer asks, do you think there'll be characters in the Wii U version that will only be playable in the okay, by linking? I think I answered that earlier. So, moving on. Pixel Kirby asks, Andre, does the 3DS version have the ability to change the controls? Like how default L is grab and default R is shield. So how do you define that if you can switch what each button does? So let me actually show you that. Yes, you can change the controls, unlike in the demo. And it is very useful. So here we go, I'm going to the control screen. And it is actually really elegant how they did this. Once it comes up, so you are able to fully test out the controls in real time on the top screen. And on the touch screen, you can actually drag each of these components around. So wherever, like, you can switch, attack with special, for instance, so I don't know why you would, but you can. So I actually moved my grab, which was up on L originally, I moved it down to Y, which I found I like better than trying to use a trigger. There's one thing that's odd here, and that is you can't actually change any of these functions by themselves. What I mean by that is, everything you see on the screen, as is all you get. You can just rearrange them. So you can't assign multiple action or multiple functions, or rather, you can't assign the same function to multiple buttons. The only exception is jump, because it gives you 2 originally on X and Y, and those are the only ones you have multiples of. So unfortunately, I wanted to assign both triggers to shield, and I wasn't able to do that, as far as I can tell. And of course, you can turn off tap to jump on the bottom left there, as you can see. Alright, moving on. Antonio asks, how exactly does Shulk's, how do you say that, Monado function? Do you press a button and get a random one, or can you hold the button and cycle through it in a way that's similar to Pac-Man? So the way it works is, you tap it once to bring up the icon to the one you currently have selected, and then you tap it again to start, and you have to tap it pretty quick. You tap it again to start cycling through. So keep tapping until you get to the one you want, and yeah, I believe it's always in the same order too. So, alright, moving on, we have Magic Mike 191 versus V2. How do you pick up the menu to pick the special characters, like when you pick the Palutena's regular and customized? So let me show you that too real quick, actually. If I can get out of here, I get top icon, right? Yeah. Hopefully I didn't screw up my controls. So after you create a custom character, all you have to do is, you'll see a wrench icon on the bottom screen in the top right corner. Just tap it, and then now when you choose a character, it will bring up the default version on the far left, and then the alternate version on the right. Or all the custom conversions you created. So it's pretty elegant, actually, pretty simple. Okay, Jver6 asks, is there any way to let CPUs use random custom moves? Like if you pick random, can the CPU use any of the custom specials, or do you have to manually set them up? As far as I can tell, you have to manually set them up. So I can have a CPU use any custom character I've created, but can't have them choose from the random set of moves, as far as I know. It'd be cool, but yeah, not there. AK Family Home asks, if you use a Final Destination version option on Final Destination, does anything special happen? Whoa, dude, that's kind of like Inception, isn't it? Inception Destination? If you do it, nothing changes. It's the exact same stage. I think the only slight difference might be, is I think it chooses the alternate audio track for the stage when you do that, which you can choose anyway, you know, via separate means. But yeah, there you go, it doesn't change anything. Cameron Landry asks, is there a download play? I think I answered that earlier. No, as far as I know. Voodoo Moon asks, can you up B out of Ganon's Falcon's /Falcon side B? That's a good question. I tested that with Fox. I have not tested that with Ganondorf yet. So where is he? So let's give that a shot real quick. Why not, right? That's what I got the 3DS in front of me for. So yeah, you are able to, with Falcon and I believe, with Fox and Falco, side B, then you can up B. I don't know what's gonna work with Ganondorf, let's see. No! So he does not have that, so, I guess we could check Falcon too real quick. If you guys don't mind me spending a few more seconds here, while I set that up, though, I'll move on. Nate Wilhelm asks, what's your favorite newcomer so far? Okay, I'm pretty sure I answered that. Sonic Karowski asks, does the Xenoblade Chronicle stage have any gimmicks? That is a good question. I don't think it does, based on my playtime with it. But I haven't spent a lot of time in that stage. So, you know what we'll do is, once I check Falcon here, if I can find the guy, I will set it on the plane stage, and I'll just let it sit there. We'll see if anything shows up. How's that? Alright. Come on, load, load, load. Although loading's not as bad as it was in Brawl, I still wish it were faster. Whoa, okay, so Falcon can up B afterward, after doing the side B. So, there you have it. Okay, Epica Ness asks, are there any frame rate issues, or does the game generally run smooth? Well, so, that's not a question. Never mind, you phrased that question oddly. In general, the game does run smooth. With that said, there have been some slowdown moments I've noticed. There have been definitely a few times when there's been a lot happening on screen, and it slowed down. I mean, there was of course the lag I mentioned when playing online, but that aside, there have been like a lot of things happening. There was some mild slowdown, but it wasn't anything to get worried about. Overall, the game is very smooth. Shockwave527 asks, what are your thoughts on the old characters with modified Final Smashes? King Dedede, like King Dedede, Rob, Ness, DK, Kirby, Luigi, okay, and a few others. Overall, I like it. I like what they've done with Luigi, for instance. His new Final Smash is really cool. I love that reference to Luigi's Mansion. And by the way, where's the Luigi's Mansion stage? It better be in the Wii U one, because it is a travesty there's not one in here. Let's see. As for the others, yeah, I mean, overall, I'm fine with them. Like, DK, I actually like that they added the rhythm, like a clear rhythm element to it, so you can actually see, you know, how it works this time. The only one, a lot of people are not going to agree with me. The only one I wish we hadn't changed is King Dedede. His new one's fine. You can see it in our video. But I really did like his dance from before. I just thought it was like, it wasn't very effective, but occasionally it would do something. But I just thought it was hilarious. I don't know, but just especially the singing, which I believe was Sakurai doing the voice. I just loved it. So yeah, overall, I'm happy with it. Griff Graff asks, what happens when Kirby copies a me? You can see this in my in the whole video I posted of all the Final Smashes. Or sorry, not Final Smashes, of all Kirby's alternate forms, transformations. What happens is he wears a little headband of with the face of that character on it. It actually looks very much like Dr. Mario's headgear, but with a me face on it instead. And he'll take the form of whichever type of me it is. So there's 3 types of me's, you know, the fighter, gunner, and swordsman, I believe. And he'll take, you know, one of those forms. But overall, and that's the movie he'll get. But his appearance always looks basically the same. The Totten Handgarner asks, are there Final Destinations versions for literally all the stages, or just most? Also, does beating All-Star mode give you a Final Smash trophy like Brawl? I don't remember about the trophy, to be honest. I can't remember offhand. I checked every stage, which I have, you know, that I have access to, which I believe is everyone but Flat Zone 2. I'm pretty sure it applies for them too. Every stage has a Final Destination version, except for Final Destination, of course, because that is its version. Yeah, so despite what Sakurai said, with not every stage getting one, every stage in the 3DS one does. So I don't know if they expanded it, or maybe the Wii U version is going to be the one that doesn't have it for every stage. Yeah, and actually some of them look really cool. I really like what they did with the F-Zero, the classic F-Zero one, for instance. Because now you actually fly higher above the level, and it's like you're following the Blue Falcon that's far below. And then the Kirby's Dream Land stage, too, looks really cool. With how they almost gave it more dimension in the Final Destination version. Steel X Awesome asks, what are all the stages with bosses? I hope there are more than the Yellow Devil. I'm pretty sure the Yellow Devil is it. The only thing I meant to check before I did this Q&A, and by the way, I just checked out the plains, I didn't see anything show up there. So, unless it's super rare, it does not seem to be any hazards on this plain stage. But yeah, as far as I can tell, Yellow Devil's the only boss, except for, which is something I want to check now, the, the Ultimate Demon, or whatever his name is, in the Find Me stage. I think I attacked him before, and I don't think he did anything. So I do think Yellow Devil is the only boss in the 3DS version, which is a little bit strange. But going off that direct a while ago, you know, we can see that Ridley will be a boss in the Wii U Metroid stage. All right, well, I'll wait for the stage to happen. Oh, there he is. Okay, let's see. Oh, he's in the background right now. So, all right, moving on. Rorschach's Diary 1 asks, there are 2 songs per stage, but is there a way to consistently have your favorite one of the 2 play? There is. You can just hold the R button, or L button, I think either one of those 2, as you're selecting the stage, and the border around the stage will turn red, indicating you're choosing the alternate song. I don't think there's a way to save that, so you just have to remember to hold it each time, as far as I know. Austin Mondin asks, what's the Final Destination form of the Mushroomy Kingdom? You know, that side-scrolling stage. Alright, you know, I'm tired of this boss. I'm pretty sure you can't attack him directly, but can't say for sure. I'll actually show you the Mushroomy Kingdom version of the Final Destination stage. It's pretty cool. Actually, you know, that one's okay. It's not my favorite, actually. Now that I actually think about my answer. But you can see it for yourself. So the access to the Final Destination form, or Omega form as it's called, as it will be called, at least in the US version, you just hold down the X or Y button and select the stage, and the cursor changes, and then when you select the stage, it turns into this. So yeah, there you have it. So that's the Final Destination version. I'll let them just battle it out here while I continue on. Poorful Z asks, do the controls feel awkward? I think I already addressed that. It does at first, especially. It does seem to get better. I'm still not sure if I'll love it, but we'll see. And then he asked, do you also ever feel the screen is too small? So I also answered that before. Shockwave527 asks, what stages have you found surprisingly fun that you maybe weren't excited for? And similarly, are there any stages you were excited for but found not to live up to the hype? That is a good question. Let's head over to the stage selection screen real quick. Offhand, I will say I actually really do like the classic F-Zero stage. I've talked about that before. Just you know, I'm still not sure if it'll be great for matches in general, but I've had fun with it and I love how it looks. And besides that, I have had fun with. Let's see here. I actually do like the new Super Mario 3D Land stage. That's a ton of fun. And Paper Mario's pretty good. Let's see. Anything I've been disappointed by? I would say maybe the New Leaf one, the Island one. I guess I didn't have high hopes for it originally. It's okay. It's fine. I still need to play more of it. But I will say the not being able to swim thing, like in Brawl, or unlike in Brawl, is a little bit weird. Definitely looks a little bit odd. I wish you could swim in this stage, especially. That actually might be the only stage that applies to even. And let's see. Anything else? Nope. Oh, Kirby's Dream Land I really like. I didn't know what to expect fully from the initial unveil, but I do like that as well, so far at least. GMND Witcher 96 asks the same question. So that actually might be just one I've read. No, it's not. Okay. Alex Hernandez asks, when Kirby sucks in the male Wii Fit trainer, does he get the hairstyle? Okay, answer that. No, he does not. You know, it's always the same regardless of skin. MS Slater asks, can you talk about the difficulty setting in Classic? Man, answer this. Man, sorry guys, I thought I weeded some of these out. Maximum Gaming asks, what is your reaction if there is DLC for the game? It'd be awesome. You know, I think it'd be good. You know, more can't be a bad thing. General Clunkton asks, does Alf have his own voice or is he a mute similar to Olimar? I'm pretty sure he is a mute, just like Olimar. Nothing changes with him besides his appearance. Nintendo Gaming asks, do you believe this new installment of Smash Brothers plays more like Brawl or more like Melee? As I said before, it definitely plays more like Melee it plays more like Brawl than Melee. You know, of course it does have elements of both, but if you had to choose between the two, it's definitely closer to Brawl. Liam Hummel asks, how hard is it to play as Robin or Shulk? Characters that require focus versus pick up and play characters like Duck Hunt. It's definitely trickier. I have found myself not going with them, or not playing as them too much, if only because I've been, you know, cranking out content. I've been using characters that I can get used to faster, and that would be like Duck Hunt and Pac-Man and the like. Yeah, Robin and Shulk are a little bit trickier. You know, kind of like maybe a little bit like Snake, for instance, in Brawl, which is, I felt it to be a little bit more of a technical character. That seems to be the case for them as well. But again, I haven't played either of them too much yet. Yeah, there's you know 50 characters. I've only had the game for what 30 hours, and I've been making a ton of videos. I had to sleep in that time, so not much time to test out all the characters yet. JK Kid is asking, can you do Smash Run online? I've seen comments go both ways. As far as I can tell, no. It's offline only, or yeah, it's offline only. You can play either with computers or locally with friends. In fact, that's what Jake Simon asks, if you can play with CPUs, and yes, you can. Silly Koalas asks, about how long does it take to unlock all characters and stages? So it depends how you go about unlocking them. There's multiple means, but the quickest and easiest way, and I'll probably make a video about this actually, is just doing matches. You can unlike in past games, but I think you had to do like 1,000 matches to unlock all the characters if you did that as the unlocking method. This time only takes 120, I believe. So yeah, you can do that in really no time at all. So just a few hours, really, if you're dedicated to it. The NHB Warrior asks, what are your thoughts about new characters and the veterans that have been changed? Also, are you used to the controls yet? Well, answer the controls one. As for the changes, as I mentioned, I'm pretty happy with most of them. So far I've liked what I've done. I do, you know, I'm gonna withhold final judgment, of course, until I play more of the game. But so far, I've been pretty happy with the changes. Speedy D asks, do the custom moves in your opinion change up the characters that much? What are all the modes that you can use custom moves in? So full disclosure, I haven't had a chance to use that many custom moves yet, because you have to unlock them, and I haven't unlocked that many yet. I'm not even fully sure how you do it yet. Actually, I think, as I recall from when I was playing at PAX, the rep was telling me you unlock them in various means throughout the game. So I've only unlocked a few of them so far per character, or you know, for some characters even. And so far, they do seem to change it a fair amount. You know, like, really, just tweaking any small thing in this game, they can have drastic changes in how they play. And, yeah, so even for smaller, you know, even for the characters that don't have exclusive moves, it seems to be a fair amount of change so far. From the ones I've tried. But especially in the case of, like, Palutena and the Miis, where the moves are completely different. It's a huge change. Garbitron asks, is there any form of communicating with friends, i.e. text or voice chat when playing with them online? So I meant to check that. So I know you can add custom messages like in Brawl. Here, I can bring it up here. You can see the screen for it. Oh, no, where was that screen? Oh, maybe not. I forget where that screen was. Alright, but I have seen the screen where you can input, I think, custom messages. So I don't know if that's just for local play or if it's for online. I haven't been able to test that yet, so sorry guys. Finally, James Robertson asks, is your body ready? When isn't my body ready, James? Alright guys, so that wraps up for the Q&A. Sorry I couldn't answer all the questions. There was a ridiculous amount. But hopefully that, you know, gave you enough answers for the current time. But, you know, keep in mind, we're far from done covering Smash Brothers. I'm sure we'll have more discussions, more videos, more overviews, more everything, really. I'm not done yet. So stay tuned to GameXplain.com for all of that. And of course, you know, if you like our videos, please make sure to like and follow us on Facebook and Twitter at GameXplain. It's a really good way to keep up to date on everything we post. Plus everything, you know, beyond just our videos. Sometimes we'll post, you know, pictures and things that don't have to do with our YouTube content. So, anyways, I'm out of here, guys. Bye.